we're going to win. And we're going to win a championship. Otherwise, why are we doing it?
What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Star Chasers, the Girls Talk Ball. As always, it's your girl, Craven Cowboys in the building. As you guys know, I got my real star next to me. How you doing tonight, sis?
What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, sis? You know, it's always a good day when we can talk Cowboys football. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I know it's gonna be people coming in, but Sugar Daddy Williams, Dak Owens, Filthy. You know, you've been our Dak Owens been a day one supporter,
Yeah.
so I really appreciate you being in the chat, and I know other people will be coming in and joining us. But y'all know when y'all come in, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to hit the share button. Be sure to subscribe to both channels. Please comment as well. If you're watching back, comment live. And we would love to shout you out. We like to, answer questions. But if you're watching on the playback, please comment as well. We try to get back to all of you guys' comments, and we really appreciate you guys' love and support. Yeah, and also, donate to our Cash Apps. Mine is $ Stargazer Sports, Craven's $ MP Cox 90. So please help us grow. Really appreciate everybody who's been donating. I know he said he don't need a public shout out, but I'm gonna shout out my guy Kim Berry. He just donated a big amount to me this week, so I appreciate you, Ken, so much. Me and him, I love him so much as a supporter, and we always chop it up and stuff on X. So appreciate your support. And shout out to you, Processed. You said, do you still have faith in Mazi? Yes, I still have faith in Mazi. I just did a show about, check it out. Just did a show yesterday with my guy, Boss Cowboy, about the Mazi situation, the Mary situation, and all that stuff. So y'all check that out. But
yes, facts. Like Sis was saying, make sure you guys hit the share button, hit the like, share, subscribe, and make sure you guys comment back as you guys watch back. And like Sis said, shout out to Dak Owens, and shout out to his name, currently send Jalen Carter to prison, because that's all facts. Still thinking back to that first, not even the first play of the season, the first act of the season, and that's crazy. And like Sis said, yes. And like Sis said, shout out to Process 654321. Shout out to you for listening on X. I'm sure you're listening through on Star side, she's streaming on X. So appreciate you. Make sure you visit the YouTube side and hit the like button on both platforms.
Thank you, sis. Yeah, please come out. Please come over to the YouTube side. Actually, it's my fault because I ain't post a link, but I'll post a link on my page, and you can come to the YouTube side so that you can like that video. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, that's facts. And it just kind of jumping into the content, we just seeing some news and notes from the day, seeing kind of jumping right into it, seeing the possibility of me and Sis talking about it off camera of the Cowboys being without Bland, this upcoming weekend. And just like we were talking about in previous weeks, and like everyone talks about, it seemed like it's almost impossible to get Bland and Diggs back on the field, even with Diggs playing limited snaps. Last week
it's like it's just not meant to be. It's just crazy,
it's
bro.
like and it's kind of funny, and I don't mean to make any smart comments, but it's like, Jerry made a huge big deal about not signing Michael Parsons because of this, quote unquote missing games last year, but. Here we have a Jake Ferguson. Here we have a Daron Bland, who both missed games last season, and coming off of down years, and both getting, and I think Sis said it early in the offseason. I think we talked about it. I personally thought, just by going off what Steven said, I thought Bland was going to go through a proven year where he was going to play out his year because he only played about half the
because
season.
He got injured.
Yeah, he was able to play out the season last year, so I thought it was going to be a proven year for him.
He missed majority of the season last year. Bland barely played, and now here he is. They said he about to miss a few weeks again, and they said this is a different foot.
Oh, really? Oh, so it is different. I thought, okay. Well, I thought.
Yeah, it's a different foot. It's not the same foot. It's a different foot. But I mean, that's not good. No, so that means both of your foots is fucked up. That's what it's looking like right now. Both of your foots are cooked, and we just paid you.
Right. And Malik, how much? Well, I think he missed practice as well with a foot injury. They said.
Yep, they both missed it with a foot injury. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah. No. Secondary once again just takes a hit. And it's looking like it just, and even last, coming into the season with, just not really knowing about our cornerback room, and at least in my opinion, watching last week, we saw some good things. So just hoping to be able to see something good again in week 2, especially against, I know they have neighbors, they have Wandale, we were just talking about it, just having different weapons, Scatterboo, kind of coming up on its own too. I thought maybe we give our secondary a chance to kind of, capitalize on maybe some of the mistakes. I think it was last season that the Giants, they were second in the league in drops. I know we were just talking about CeeDee last week with drops and things like that, but I thought our corners would kind of capitalize on maybe some of the mistakes that the Giants offense would could or would make. But with Bland going out, I think this may, I don't want to say pressure, but it may push Diggs to have more snaps this coming week. I know we had to kind of ramp him up, so he may have been seeing more snaps this week anyway. But we talk about possibly elevating a veteran off the practice squad like Kemon Hall to possibly play that slot position, or maybe seeing a young guy. I know Shadi said looking at 2 guys who play the same position, you would go with the younger guy, but we may see a Zion come up off the practice squad. I think this, of course, it opens more opportunities for guys, but I think our secondary is definitely going to be tested. With Bland going down.
Facts, I agree. And shout out to Nisi, Brenda Green. Really appreciate you.
Facts. Brian Bradford as well. Keystone.
Brian Bradford, Keystone. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody, thank you guys for being in the chat. But yes, sis. I mean. Well, Diggs, I think they were already going to ramp him up. Because, I think last week we didn't have him in the base package. We only had him in the nickel package. He's going to have to play. I think he's going to play the full game. You know what I'm saying? They may limit him a little bit, but I think, you're down to Kyer Elam. You have Kyer Elam and you have Diggs. And then your slot corner. Now
we were banking on the season coming in with Diggs, coming in with Bland and Diggs having to ramp him up, and now Bland this time it's crazy.
Right, and now that you are without Bland, not Bland, but you could possibly already be without Malik Hooker as well. So if you're going to be without Malik Hooker as well, then that means Wanya is going to have to fill that spot, which means Wanya cannot go into the slot, which means who's going to be playing the slot position.
Right. And I love my guy Kemon Hall, but I just didn't like what I saw in preseason, and I feel like I don't think he proved enough. I don't even know. At least to me, I don't think he proved enough to even come back to the practice squad. So I'll be surprised if they elevated him.
Damn,
and
you said.
No, I'm not gonna lie because it's one thing, at least for me, for last
true.
season. I loved his preseason last season. I feel like he built, game to game, and I know he had an interception this past preseason, but I just don't feel like he stacked games. And I feel like we saw more from Zion. So even Elijah Clark. I mean, with the possibility of not seeing Hooker, I know Clark is. I think he came on as undrafted, so he may not have. I'm sure he's not going to leapfrog some of these guys on the practice squad. But I think it's definitely the time to see some of these younger guys see it and they can handle. I mean, see if they can handle these bright lights, because it seems like it's going to be sooner than later that these guys are going to either get the opportunities or try to kind of be forced into these games. Because it's not like it's going to be like maybe like previous season where we just have bigger games down the stretch. We're going to have bigger games pretty much throughout the entire schedule. So these guys are going to have to step up sooner or later.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, obviously, I don't know why we giving Philly trolls in here, but anyway.
Randomly, I don't know. It's very rare that we've ever had even Philly fans.
I know I didn't tag nothing about y'all today, so there's zero reason y'all should be in the chat. Like, I don't know why y'all in the chat. Y'all need to go. Lord Brunson, I'm sure is live, or
focus on.
I don't know.
Focus on Chiefs.
Exactly. Y'all played the Chiefs this week, but so I don't know why y'all in our chat at all. But anyway, moving on. I definitely think shout out to the Big Time Show.
Big Time.
Great content creator. Y'all please go give him a follow, a subscription. Great Cowboys content creator. But yes, sis, I mean, when you look at
so I don't mean to cut you off. Make sure you guys follow Keystone as well. He's now allowed on YouTube, but he's definitely on. When you guys do the content creator shows, and make sure you guys follow on X as well.
Yeah, follow Keystone on X. And I think Keystone is Key. Put your ad name on Twitter in the chat, and we'll put it up so everybody can see it. Yeah. But yeah, so when it comes to, this secondary, like you said, Kemon Hall, you didn't really love what you saw out of him. Now, we did like what we saw, for the most part, out of Zion Childress. I thought he played very aggressive and downhill. Hey, James, how you doing?
Hey, James.
I thought he played very aggressive downhill, and I mean that's a big thing for Eberflus for his cornerbacks to tackle. I mean, obviously he made the roster, then they cut him, then they brought him back to the practice squad. So maybe this is his time to shine, young man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what happens when you have these injuries, and we actually will play undrafted free agents here. That is a perk of being being a Dallas Cowboy, and other teams maybe where you wouldn't really play, you do have a chance to play here. So, and I think they're gonna be looking to elevate from the practice squad other than looking out. Keystone said we need to go get Asante Samuel. I agree with that. I feel like we should go and get another corner, or you can look into some what's his name? Still, Stephon Gilmore.
He just tweeted. He just tweeted talking about some. Man, it's the first time in 14 years I'm unemployed. Look,
exactly.
Y'all better do it, or at least keep him. Hit up his voicemail box. What I'm saying, just keep it stash right there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there's Keystone's information. You guys, make sure you guys please give him a follow.
Yes, please give him a follow, please. But yeah, I mean that's 100% right, sis. Like. Shoot. I forgot the exact person we was talking about. What was it about? Zion Childress?
I think we're talking. No, we weren't talking about Kemon. I forgot who we was talking about too.
I think we were talking about Zion Childress and
about being able to come downhill.
Yeah. We're talking about Zion Childress and how we feel like they're going to elevate someone. Oh, we were talking about Stephon Gilmore. We were just saying how Gilly is still out there, Asante Samuel. So you can obviously go look for cornerback help. Yeah. Will they do that? I don't know. I feel like maybe they don't think that it'll be that too. No, he's not on the team, Key.
Yeah, right.
He's not on the team.
He got let go.
Yeah, Booth got cut.
Sis said they picked up those two corners.
Yeah, remember we have two corners that we added. Booth is not, and I don't think Booth is on our practice squad either. I'm pretty sure we cut him. We did not bring him back.
Yes, facts, Rich Coleman.
I'm looking it up right now, but I'm pretty sure Booth's not on the practice squad.
Rich Coleman said, "Star, you rocking those glasses." That's a fact.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm wearing my glasses today.
But yeah,
Uh,
yeah. While you're looking that up, sis, and I'll
yeah,
definitely
go
share on
ahead.
the screen. I just want to say, at least as far as in my opinion, if we're looking at a particular skill sets, I think it would kind of come down to whether they want Keymon, because at least in my opinion, I feel like Keymon did better in coverage, but I feel like you said, Zion did better coming downhill and making those tackles. So I think
Yep.
it could be a matter of, at least in my opinion, it matters how they use their running backs, or if they do use a Wanda Robinson around the line of scrimmage. Either way, I do like the speed from Zion Childress. I feel like he's a little bit more precise in his tackling, and I feel like just in general, I feel like tackling is going to be a big factor in this game, because guys like Wandale Robinson, guys like Cam Scatterbo, these guys can get loose. Malik Neighbors, as we already know. I think if these Cowboys don't wrap up and tackle, these guys could have big yak opportunities.
Right. Okay, yeah, so we did sign him back. So we definitely signed Zion back to the practice squad. So you
Yeah,
got
Zion.
Zion on the practice squad, Keymon, and Robert Rochelle. I feel like
Okay.
they definitely out of those three, especially since you're facing a slot deficit, they're probably gonna just elevate
Yeah.
Zion.
Yeah.
But Booth is not on our team, guys. Booth has been cut. He has been cut.
Yeah, he's out of there.
We did not add him back, so he is gone. Um
Keystone said more like poof. You crazy. Oh wow.
said, can you do something with Simone? She's an Eagles fan. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, we'd be open to talking. Maybe we'll try to see about the
Yeah.
next. I don't know when the next Philly week is, but whenever
Yeah.
next Philly week is, maybe we'll do a collab with some Eagles content creators.
Yeah.
But because I know she's done some content with some other people. I think she just did something with Landlord, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So
Yeah.
I
She
know she
did.
does stuff with people in the Cowboys community.
Yeah.
Tell her about us and tell her to hit us up on X or YouTube or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
what else was I saying? But yeah, so I mean that's just the issue that we're facing now, guys. I feel
Yeah.
like this is a time where young guys gonna have to step up, unless another now if Diggs or Kyer Elam get hurt, I do think they're gonna hit the panic button and they will sign someone. But I think
Yeah.
right now they're gonna try to weather the storm. They're gonna try to see if these young guys can step up and
Right.
feel, because Bland's not out for the season, he's just out for a couple weeks. So I don't know what he did to his foot. They don't have the specifics on that, but they said a few
Yeah.
weeks. So maybe we're looking at him to return back in October. So you just need somebody to hold down the fort for about 3 games. So
Right.
that's what I think they'll do for the cornerback position. But
Yeah.
yes,
And also, talking about that, just seeing some of the clips that they had today, talking about Savone Rebel, kind of timely, right? Tweeting about Savone Rebel, kind of, making shifts in practice, and Demo as well. Love seeing these guys come along. They talk about Demo not coming along until till around, I think around maybe 11, 12 when we played the Chiefs. I forget the exact week, but somewhere around Thanksgiving. But it's good to see that
right.
they're still providing updates about these young guys. I mean, especially when talking about at first the Savone Rebel coming into the season, possibly
Mm-hmm.
being ready by week 1. But at least now we can
Yep.
see that as you guys see, shout out to Tommy Yarsh, excellent reporter. Make sure you guys give him a follow on DallasCowboys.com as well.
Right.
Excellent media representative, and actually really great. At least in my opinion, actually really great questions in press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted out Demarvion Overshown and Savone Rebel were running, planting, and changing direction on the course today. Overshown helped serve as a receiver for Rebel in one instance to help him backpedal and get out of this break. So I mean, I know these guys work together all the time, but I think this kind of also helps these guys grow closer together. We saw the relationship between some of the tight ends when John Stevens was hurt back when they had another undrafted guy that was also hurt. But I think these guys got close where John Stevens ended up being the best man in his wedding. So this also kind of leads into the culture. And I know we talked about it as a part of our post game reaction, but just really seeing the culture really stick with these guys. You see these guys being close on and off the field, on the sideline. These guys are rallying each other when they do make plays on the field. You see them hyping each other up, and even on limited opportunities. With guys like Leofold, he had limited opportunities, but you still see him give his all anytime he was on the field. So it's good to see these guys, number one, not some of these guys not lose their confidence, but to still push forward. Guys like Rebel, guys like Overshown, who are coming in late to the season, but they know that they could possibly have a big impact on these guys. When they do return to this defense. So I like that these guys are still pushing. That the media is also giving updates. They're not. We don't have to necessarily keep asking where these guys are, or in their progress. But I think they could be a great addition once these guys do return to the defense, especially with this news today of Bland going down.
Right, and I agree with that. Rebel, you see there was pictures and not videos, but I think it's because they can't do videos in the actual season. But Rebel, I don't know, buddy. I don't know, man. I don't know when, your daddy a month ago said you probably wasn't returning till November or December. So it's going to be a while before Rebel is back because he had a setback like right before the season started.
Yeah, now in that video they had
right. He had a setback, but his daddy said, when Steven was talking about, we think he's a couple weeks away. His daddy was like, no, he's a couple months away. So so it'll be a while till we get him back. We might honestly need to just redshirt him because I feel like you having a setback right before the season. You re-injure him, then you don't get this guy back for another 2 years, really. Because he can come back, then it's gonna take him a year to get back. So it's like I feel like you need to redshirt him because you just don't want to risk it. I mean, and that's the gamble that y'all took. Nobody told y'all to take his injured self in the third round, but y'all chose to do that. So I appreciate that, Rico. But yeah, y'all chose. Brendan said redshirt, absolutely. Like I feel like we need to redshirt him now. Demo. I do think Demo is gonna come back to us like that'd be great. We could get Demo for the Chiefs game.
Man, I'm telling you.
That would be great because we are missing Demo big time. We've got this what Boss and I talked about, these coaches, they have their guys and they want their guys on the field. So y'all, we already seeing them pick Sanborn over Maris.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked if Demo come back and he on that bench.
You don't think even with him coming back off of an injury, you don't think they would use him like? Wow.
Don't be shocked, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all because as much as we love Demo, this is not their guy. They didn't draft Demo, so just know that they picked Sanborn. Shadi and Flus picked Sanborn. They picked Kenneth Murray. They drafted Shamar James. They did not pick Damone Clark. Because be honest, based on the preseason, should Damone Clark be getting more snaps? Yes or no?
I believe so. I feel like he had a great camp and a great preseason. Yeah,
exactly. He had a great camp and a great preseason. He's still barely playing, and we need athletes on the field.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Murray. Go ahead. What you say?
No, I was gonna say we saw Murray sometimes getting turned, getting kind of turned on his kind of turned on his butt. You know what I'm saying? Like
we saw whoever break that tackle. Murray did not look good this game. I'm gonna be honest, and I am disappointed because I really like Murray. But he did not. He looked like he was just he looked like he was just
more time to ramp up.
Yeah, he need more time to ramp up. Y'all remember he missed like 2 weeks of camp. And then he didn't can't talk. And then he didn't play at all in the preseason. So it's like I think he need time to ramp up because he just didn't look good. And he is an athlete. So he is an athlete, but if you don't, your athleticism means nothing if you're not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And then he was seeing it.
His breath at times.
Right, he was seeing it, but he was just a tick late. Now his athleticism got him there to where it wasn't like a huge game, but it's like you would prefer for him to be in space where he can break up some of those passes and stuff like that. So, but so I'm telling y'all guys, don't be shocked if Demo come back because we're like, oh, Demo. And then they got him getting about a couple snaps. She said he disagree. I think the Joneses will tell them to play over Sean. Okay.
I'm just surprised more of these young guys. I mean, we waited.
I'm not saying they won't, but I'm just saying. Right.
Overshown, Maris, like
Overshown, Maris,
leaders. And
based
now
on preseason. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
I was gonna say no. I was just gonna say like these young guys were expected to come up this season, and now they're taking back seats to Eberflus's veterans who are coming in who have no time here.
I'm just saying, guys. I know. It was, to me, I thought it was a no-brainer that Marius would be starting, but he's benched for Sanborn. That's what I want y'all to realize. Our super athlete, the one that we thought was being comped to Fred Warner, the one that we said was going to be our green dot, our future green dot, he's on the bench. So I just want y'all to understand that, like, this is a new coaching staff, this is a new regime, and in the first year, Jerry and them, they're, and that's what we talked about yesterday. Jerry and them, they're letting Shotty and them get their way. They're not interfering. Do y'all think any other year Mazi would be inactive for games as a first round pick? No, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. They're letting the coaches, they're making the decisions this year. Now, next year, I don't know. And if we start losing more, then you'll start seeing Jerry and Steven start getting involved. But right now, they're letting the front office. They're letting the front office. I mean, the front office. Sorry, they're letting the coaches coach.
They do. Yeah.
So, I just want y'all to be aware of some of this, So sometimes we really like these guys because we drafted them. We've been here before these coaches. But when these coaches come in, they want their guys. Yeah. They want their guys to fit their scheme. I know that's how they are, and I know they'll be saying, "Oh, it's true. No, we pick players over schemes." No, they lying. They lying.
Right. I mean, I mentioned yesterday, like you mentioned, like Sanders being on the roster, like just like Murray.
Sanders,
two preseason games. Yeah, almost no time in camp because you're out for injury, and it's like y'all make the. I'm just still shocked about that. I didn't see two veteran running backs making the roster. That was just wild to me. So
I had no idea. Everybody thought he was a camp cut. And shout out to you, Mark Smith. He said, "Damn, can we have a season where we have all of our corners for a full season?" I feel you, man. Guilty got to get called up. Have nobody to take Bland's spot. Oh, I think he's talking about Gilly. I think that's what he meant. But yeah, man, I think and Brenda, you said they're trying to make a good impression, get a good foot with the vets. I mean, this is my thing, Brenda. All of that's nice, but we're in the regular season now, and so every game we need to win. That's how I feel. Yeah. And you those games where you should have won but you lost, those get really frustrating. Because those are the types of games that can make a difference from first seed to the fourth seed, or the second seed to the fifth seed, or the sixth seed, or seventh. So I'm just not into let's wait, let's see. I'm into we did the evaluation period. To me is over. Yeah. And we need to be playing the best people. I'm not into this. Oh, well, let's let them know. If the vet's not better, the vet shouldn't be playing. That's just how I feel. Better no vet. And then Rico,
like Rico mentioned about follow missing tackles, he's a well-known vet who's been in several teams. And I think before, so it's like
he did right. Exactly, sis. I mean, you got players like Marshawn Nealon that look better. You had James Houston that look better. So you had to make the calls on, okay, am I going to play because this guy's my guy and we really bonded in the preseason, or I'm going to play the guy who's the best. So that's the coaches, they going to do what they do, but we've got to advocate as fans for who's the best, because we was here before these coaches. And we'll be here after these coaches.
Right, exactly.
Right.
It's like just like you're saying, you can have the young guys start the season out, and if they kind of fall off or they make some mistakes, that's when you can have the veterans step up to kind of make take up the lack and take up some of the mistakes, or teach them some of the things behind the scenes, and that way can kind of learn along the way, while also kind of getting that experience along the way as well.
Right, exactly. And Rico said, does Mazi have some mental ish going on? I mean, there are rumors that Mazi wants out. There are rumors that Mazi is like, I'm done with y'all. And
Might as well.
I cannot fault Mazi if that is true. Again, these are rumors, but if that is true, that Mazi is like, I'm done. I can't blame him because you have switched coordinators every year. You have put your body. Do y'all know what Mazi has been putting his body through? Soon as he was drafted, he was 330, almost 340 pounds. They told him, you need to lose weight because you don't fit the scheme. You need to get upfield. You need to get quicker off the ball. He dropped down to 290 pounds. Do y'all know how much weight that's to lose in a season?
Right, in less than a year.
In less than a year, and then he lost that weight and effed his shoulder up. Then he had to have shoulder surgery. And then he gets a new D coordinator that says, hey, I know you lost all that weight, but you need to get fat again, and you need to get fat again quickly. So then he got to put on weight. He ends up doing well under this new coordinator, and then they fire him and bring another coordinator in who is pretty much just like the coordinator before, who says, hey, you need to get upfield, you need to lose weight, you need to do this. Because you got to remember, in the offseason, Mazi said, I'm between 310 to 312. When they asked Eberflus, is he the way that you want him to be? Flus was acting like he wanted Mazi to be skinnier. He was like, well, he just needs, that's good, but he just keeps continue to work with his nutritionist. I'm like, how skinny do y'all want Mazi to be, bruh? So when you have a situation like that, and then you got coaches where it's clear that Jay is not better than him, and nobody can say that. Now you can say maybe
many plays on the field, you can see him walled off, by some of the linemen.
Walled off on the ground. Like, it's clear Jay is not better than Mazi. We all have eyes. And we can see. Even the people that was Jay this and Jay that, they talk about him like he a non-factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody talking, because he's a rookie. Yeah, he's got great get off when he's got stamina that runs out pretty quickly, because he's 340 pounds. So he's probably, because he's not built to get up, he's 340 pounds. So he's a bag of dirt, and they're trying to make him get upfield guy. So it's gonna be rough. It's rough out here for these DTs. Thank God we brought in Kenny Clark
at the right time,
because he is exactly what they want. Kenny Clark, Osa, Solomon Thomas, those are exactly what they want. So, it's just unfortunate that when you get a new coordinator, you got to fit their scheme. And if you don't fit their scheme, then you're the odd man out. But go ahead, sis, to show us.
Yeah, I'll just bring it up. I mean, we know Clowney visited the facility today. They said they left me out of the deal. I think going up the first season, and then of course going on preseason, it kind of just showed it was kind of a tale of two takes. I feel like the edges did well in preseason, but in the first outing we saw, of course, the rookie not doing so well as a Raku. We saw Houston come in, had a couple plays, big plays, saw his strength, on display, but then kind of bringing in Clowney, and which I'm surprised about, because they just got Land back, Isaiah Land, who, we were kind of rating about, a couple of off seasons ago. And I thought that maybe they would think about elevating him before bringing in, another guy from the outside. But I'm not going to say I was excited, but I'm happy to do some kind of work to try to help out our edges.
And doing like due diligence. I saw a report though that said that it's likely not to happen. I don't know why. I don't know if he didn't look good at the workout or his medicals didn't test out. But I did see that they said that it's likely not to happen. I was hoping that it did happen, because I feel like the pass rush room does need a proven veteran there. Yeah. And I thought that Fowler was going to be able to be that, but now I'm questioning if he is. I feel like maybe but it could be Fowler also. It's the first game. You got jitters. You got to get in a rhythm. And they were going against the best offensive line and the best tackles in the league. So I think we do just have to
more in the second half. I mean, came out with a sack,
right?
Exactly. With the help, but I think
exactly.
Just need a little bit of
exactly. I agree with that. And so maybe it's just we do need to see them versus not the best offensive line.
Yeah.
to see, where are they at. But I feel like if they're looking like what they look like versus Philly, like Fowler and stuff like that, then you have to question, is he enough vet leadership there? Because remember, this was supposed to be a room led by Micah.
Exactly.
So this room was supposed to be led by him. And so when you remove him, you're like, where's the leadership? And to Mark Smith and Deuce, y'all must have just started following me, because there's no way you can think that with all the film and all the stuff that I talked about Mazi. But if that's what y'all think, that's actually your opinion. But I mean, I feel like you guys, I'll just say, have been bit by the zombie narrative. There's a lot of narratives around Mazi, but if you actually watch the film, that's just not true. And I've done open film review. Boss has, Okoye, Henny DeMore. Like, there's been plenty of YouTubers that have done open film review on Mazi, even ones that just like y'all thought he sucked and he was bad, because a lot of us started believing the narratives. Then we said, okay, let me go look at the film to make sure, and it just wasn't the case. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of teams that do want Mazi, because Mazi is not going to be asked to get upfield in every scheme. So it just is what it is. But the situation with Mazi, I hope that Shotty said today, just because you didn't start last week doesn't mean you don't start this week. So we'll see what happens, because I feel like you want Mazi to play, even if you want him traded. Why? Because you want his stock to go up so that you can get better value. So it just makes no sense to have a third-year DT not even dressing out. And again, y'all are laughing about this shit, but Jay Toya is worse. Like, if you care about your team, you should want a person that's better out there, and not just, oh, Mazi fucking sucks, let's just have anybody out there because anybody's better than him. Because Jay Toya is targeted. That touchdown that we gave up late was because of Jay Toya and Solomon Thomas. Mazi wasn't on the field. But see, y'all don't want to talk about that. Because even with the CD drops, maybe if we don't give up that touchdown at the goal line, maybe we still win the game.
Yeah, the Cowboys had it in coverage, but at the line, it's sometimes some of these mistakes being made, it just kind of makes you kind of look at the team. Like you said, sometimes when these guys pinpoint these certain players are not on the field, like, who can you really blame at that point?
Exactly. Like you blaming Mazi, he's not even on the field and we still lost. So now what?
Right. He showed some things in preseason. I thought that even would possibly change Shotty's mind, even just to be activated. But it's just, I'm just surprised for him to go from slated first round pick to not even being active, not even being in the rotation. Really shocked me. Yeah, it shocked everybody, because anybody with eyes could see there's Mazi. Even somebody like, shout out to my guy Big Game James, he don't like Mazi, but he's saying Mazi is rotational. He's just saying Mazi's not Dexter Lawrence. He ain't saying cut Mazi's trash. He's saying Mazi is rotational. He's not gonna be that Dexter Lawrence that we thought he could be. Like, but people talking about Mazi just flat out trash. Okay, I just question that. You know what I'm saying? But people have their opinions. There's many people that agree with you. I'm just one that don't. And Jay he didn't play one game. He actually played 4. He played 3 preseason games, and he played against Philly, and all of it was not good. And you see Jay getting pushed on the ground, can't finish tackles, getting sealed out of gaps. Please go look at Mazi's film versus Philly last year, and then watch Jay versus Philly, and you tell me which one's better. But anyway. Or you could just be lazy and go to Boss Cowboys channel, because he did it. So that's just, is what it is. And Keystone says Mazi is a bust as of now. Okay. Like, if he's a bust, then that's just your opinion on him. Like, what can I say about that? Like, the coaches,
he's not even allowed to prove that he's not a bust, which this is supposed to be Mazi's breakout year. So it just is what it is. That's my opinion in sponsorships. I don't want to take up the whole show talking about Mazi. I don't, waste the whole show talking about it. Preseason does count, Mark. It's against lesser talent. If you look bad against lesser talent, what the fuck do you think you're going to look like against starters? Come on, Mark. Got to use your brain, buddy. Turn that brain on. Turn it on. But anyway, we can talk about the Giants.
I was gonna say, speaking of D-line, we kind of transitioned and talking about the Giants, that we play this weekend. I think that's going to be one of the most important, at least one of the very important battles going into Sunday. Our offensive line going against the D-line, and I just want to kind of bring up. Let me see if I can bring up the Giants roster.
Oh yeah, okay. And then I'll bring up. I have up here their game versus the Commanders, so we can kind of just look at that game and see how they won.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you got it up. I didn't say you put up the roster.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, we can look at this is the Lions versus the Commanders game, which you can see it was a close game. Which means both defenses kind of balled out. 21 points is not a lot. And if I look at which one, let me see, the Commanders, where they at? Okay, yeah, so the Commanders, they scored. They were pretty much held to 14, and then they scored in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure if that was late in the fourth or the beginning of the fourth, but it seemed like they were pretty much limited up until, and then 21 points. Because if the score was 14-6, I mean, that's considered like a defensive masterclass almost.
Yeah. I mean, the D line is definitely stout. I mean, just some things I saw from some of the things I saw from their line. I mean, Brian Burns had 3.5 sacks. Still explosive off the line. Thibodeau, on the right side, having to deal with Steele. I'm thinking this year Steele may have a better hold on Thibodeau. I feel like, of course, I think he had some problems with him last season, but I think with him coming off that injury, last season, I think that has something to do with it. But I think Steele kind of getting back into his groove. Just seeing some of the physicality I've seen from Steele, I'm really interested in seeing that battle against how he handles Thibodeau this year. Because I feel like he has a little bit more confidence. Yeah, I feel like he has a little bit more confidence going into the season, especially how he played against Philly. Sometimes playing against another divisional rival, I feel like these guys have even more of a confidence shot, a confidence boost. So I think we're going to see some different things from Steele when he goes up against Thibodeau. I think that right side will be, and especially with the addition of Booker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that right side is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, when it comes to Thibodeau, I just feel like he kind of is who he is. I feel like, did he tear us up last year? Did he get Steele problems? Is that why you brought that matchup up?
I brought that back, but I feel like there were some times where Thibodeau was able to get off the ball just go a little bit faster than Steele, and I feel like
okay,
I just feel like his knee, not complete problems, but just kind of coming, just really getting off the ball. I just feel like the get off is where the real battle was. I think he can kind of handle some of the fighting, some of the hand fighting, even some of the adjustments that he makes even during the play. I think he does very well. I just feel like the get off. I feel like he just had the advantage last season, but I think this season still had that particular advantage over Thibodeau.
I agree with that. I think this year still is going to be way better. I know there's people already starting propaganda that he should be benched for no reason. I'm like, what? He should be benched for Nate Thomas allegedly, but I don't know where that's coming out from. But anyway, I think Steele had a hell of a game last game. I think. I think he gave up like a pressure or something like that. But of course, Dak was not sacked at all. And I think he killed in the run game. And that's still specialty. We have to remember that. Some tackles, they're more of a power. Like Steele, his archetype is more of a power type of tackle. He is not a finesse, but he also was kind of like a mix because he also was super agile. Like he can get out in space, like that run.
I was going to say, he had across the field. Man, like that.
Okay, with Mark Smith, I'm just gonna ban you out of my chat because
Yeah,
I
you must
just
have missed
don't.
that game last
I
week.
just don't like your trolling behavior at all. But anyway, you can go somewhere else's chat to troll. But anyway,
Shout
talking
out to
about
Swain.
shout out to you, Swain. Good to see you. Hold on, sis. Just keep talking. I'm trying to fix something.
Oh yeah, I know. We just talking about Steele. Like I just feel like I just love seeing his energy when he had literally go from sideline to sideline on that play on that block. Making the lane for Miles Sanders. And I feel like he just really getting back to his road grading days. I feel like he's getting that confidence and that strength back. And even with Booker by his side, I feel like that. Like I said, I feel like that right side's gonna be straight. And just kind of just looking on the other side of the ball. Let me see if I can put that right quick.
It's okay. Don't you worry, Daniel M. I got him out of here. I can't do it. I don't have patience, and it's just too distracting. So I'm like, let me just get him out of my chat and just move on.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but I also
he's a
feel like
random anyways. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the first time in our show, like you never even been on our show before, but you
exactly just saying all this outrageous shit. Like I don't have time for trolls. It's just like whatever, bro. It's like you can have your opinion, but when you're just saying everybody's trash, so it's just like you're just here to just troll and talk shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not here to actually talk real football. And this is StarChasers Girls Talk Ball. So we talk real football here. We don't do all the trolling and all the dumb shit. And we certainly don't sit here and pile on our own players and stuff like that. Like it's just like at a certain point, like you just gotta chill the fuck out. But anyway, especially when they're not playing, bad. So if a player's playing bad, we're gonna be honest and say that was not a good game. He played terrible. I just said I loved Murray. I loved that we picked him up. I had to be honest. He did not play well against the Eagles, period. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it, but I'm also not gonna sit here and say Murray's trash, he's ass, he shouldn't be starting. I'm not gonna be saying all of that type of stuff. Like, okay. But I think Steele too. I think the big issue last year with our tackles, Steele and Guyton, was that Solari, I call him terrorist Solari. Solari had both of them he basically changed their kick step. So he changed basically how they get into their pass set, which caused because you would notice that Steele and Guyton kept getting beat inside. You notice that there wasn't an issue concerning that this game because they've changed their kick step, and I think they've allowed them to just play more free instead of you got to kick step like this every single time. So I agree with you, sis. I do think that Steele should have a way better game versus Thibodeau, and I think that if we run the ball. Like I was saying, how Steele, that Miles Sanders run, that was because it's Steele clearing that guy out. I don't know who it was, but he cleared him out.
Right. I think it was Dajim. I think it was Dajim. Yeah.
Exactly. And so Steele ran across the formation and cleared that guy out. So Steele is probably one of the best, if not when it comes to run blocking tackles. I feel like Steele has got to be up there, like fully healthy. I know that he went down, when he's recovering back from injury, but I'm like fully healthy, which I think Steele is fully healthy this year. He is probably one of the best, like I said, run blocking tackles. In this league, and I stand on that. Yeah. Like because the nastiness, the Mauler mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like you just can't coach that. It's just either in you or it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just kind of, I'm glad you brought that point up about running the ball. I feel like in this game, I think we could have a little bit more success if we have some run backs catching out the backfield. And it's something I've seen from Sanders in the preseason. Like I know he missed a lot of time, but at least just from what I've seen as far as the Rams scrimmage, I saw him catching the passes out the backfield a lot more. And I feel like I seen speed then, like and now I know it's preseason, there was a scrimmage, everything like that. And I didn't like what I see from him last week as far as the speed factor, but I did like his hand usage in the preseason. So I feel like I don't know. I don't think they're going to do it, but I would like to see a running back. This is what we have for right now, but I don't know if they're going to bring anybody, but Malik Davis maybe elevated because I want to see someone who has, some of that speed who can maybe either cut to the edges or even someone who can knife up the middle. And we saw that in preseason from Malik Davis, although it was only limited snaps or limited production from what we've seen outside the first game. He did step in, but I feel like we need a running back who I know we need to trade for RB1. Shout out to the campaign, shout out to you and Boss. But I just feel like we need a back in this game, and just for right now, from the practice squad, I feel like Malik Davis may give us some of that speed. I know, Maffa being on IR, but I just feel like Williams, Sanders, now going on what I seen from last week, I don't feel like he has that speed. And I feel like, even the rookie last week, as far as from Washington, he was able to kind of sneak past Nunez Roches and even sneak past Dexter up the middle a couple times. So I feel like I know Turpin got some plays out the backfield too, but I just feel like Turpin's frame is maybe a little too small for that D line to take so many hits. But I feel like if we have some kind of maybe a speed factor at the second level, I feel like we can kind of get the Giants' number a little bit, and even kind of maybe take advantage of some of their linebackers. I don't know if McFadden's going to be playing, but I saw,
no, he's out. He's going to be out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think McFadden is out for the season, actually.
For the season, it was that bad. I know he's out for the season,
or he's out for a pretty long time. He's out for a while. Okay. But I'm pretty sure I saw this morning it was for the season. He's out. Okay.
Well, I hope prayers to him. I hope he definitely improves. I hope he gets better. And I know KRK was definitely making plays at the second level, but hopefully that we can take advantage of that. And like I said, some passes at the backfield, or someone with just some quickness around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think when it comes to the running back, I agree with that as well. Like, trade for RB1, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's the campaign. #trade for RB1. Because although we like what we saw we like what we saw out of Williams, which I was pleasantly surprised by Williams. You know what I'm saying? I loved the way he looked, but he is our hammer. And what you're talking about is, where is our lightning? You know what I'm saying? Where is our back? And even Shotty said today, I watched his press conference, and they said, what are you missing in the running back room? And he said, big plays. Like, we need big plays. We need to be able to stretch the field with the run game. It can't be 5 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards. Like, at some point, you need to be able to have what he calls explosives. You need some explosive run plays. And so he said they've been trying to scheme it and dial it up. He said our running back coach is really good at really trying to dial up explosives, or what he calls builds, So it's like, we're going to run this, and we're going to run this, and then we're going to run this, because we're eventually trying to run this for a home run. So I will say, I do appreciate, and you can see it, that the offensive line, they look way more confident. They look way more confident, way more sure of themselves than they ever looked under Mike Solari. And Daniel said, I like how Williams was able to put his head down and get those hard-earned yards. That's what we need. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So we're not saying, when we say trade for RB1, we're not saying replace Williams. We want Williams to stay here, because we believe that he can be very effective as our hammer. Yeah. But what we're needing is, we need a tandem, right? So it's just like the Lions. They have David Montgomery as their hammer, but they have Gibbs as their lightning. Right. Remember, in 2022, we had Zeke as our hammer, but then we had Pollard as our lightning. So in a tandem, you need that. You need both, right? And so clearly the coaching staff knows they need both. So that's why we're saying trade for RB1. Get somebody like shoot for the stars. Who I really would want is Bijan Robinson. Do I think the Falcons are going to trade him? No. But, someone like a Bijan, someone like a Taylor, Alvin Kamara.
Whose former coaches here.
Right, whose former coaches here, like, these are guys that we feel like can come in right now and help us tremendously. Obviously, if we look at this game, go ahead, sis.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I know during the offseason, J.K. Dobbins was mentioned during your guys' campaign, but I'm not sure who he's with right now. But I know, I think Foster coached J.K. Dobbins as well. I'm not sure if he's on the team. I know it's kind of early in the season.
I think he plays for I think Dobbins plays for the Broncos.
I want to say the Broncos. Me too. I feel like I seen his name.
Yeah, I think the Broncos picked him up, but I'm not sure how much he's actually playing. But when we look at this, even though the Giants do have a stout defensive line, but if we look at what Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who's a rookie, did to them. He had 10 carries for
Exactly.
82 yards. He averaged 8.2 on the ground.
Yeah.
Then
He
you
was
had
definitely sneaky out there. And
right.
same
Then
thing
you
with
go
I mean,
ahead.
got you all, but same thing with Debo. I mean, he had 77 yards, but he had a little bit more, the bigger plays, I just, both of them were able to escape that line, and I think they were attacking their edges. That's why I think, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, the tackles are going to be very important in this game. If they're able to contain those edges and be able to kind of sneak out to them, I think, we could kind of gain some of those small yardages and
Right.
eventually be able to kind of stretch the field a little bit.
Right. And so I think, and thank you for pointing that out, sis. Like you said, you believe that they were attacking the edges because I mean, obviously the strength is in the middle when you have Dexter Lawrence there. You're not,
Yes.
but even with that, you can still move Dexter Lawrence. Let's not act like we didn't run at Dexter Lawrence last year and
Right.
BB and Tyler Smith didn't move him 5 yards off ball.
Mm-hmm,
So it definitely can happen, but like
Yeah.
you said, you want to probably more so attack them on the edges. You want to attack Abdul Carter. You want to attack Thibodeau opposed in the run game, opposed to attacking Dexter Lawrence because that's their strength. But Merritt, he went 10 of 82, 8.2 yards and a touchdown. Then Jaden Daniels, 11 carries for 68 yards, averaging 6.2. Austin Eckler, he only had 6 carries, but he still had 6 carries for 26 yards, averaging 4.3. Then they had Jeremy Nichols. I don't even know what that is. He had 4 carries for 25 yards. So they put up collectively, and then Debo had 1 carry for 19 yards. So collectively, they put up 220 yards on them on the ground. 220 yards. Oh, sis, you there? I think sis might have cut out, but y'all can see there on the screen. I'm sure she'll be back, but y'all can see there on the screen. 220 yards is what they put up. So we definitely should be able to run the ball on this team for sure.
Yeah.
And sis, I agree. Maybe you do want to elevate somebody like a Malik Davis because
or even
Miles
like we mentioned
Miles Sanders.
Week, if they're going to be using Hunter Lipke, I don't even see a speed factor from him. But we need to use somebody in this run game.
Right, he don't have no speed factor. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We only had 2 people. Reason why I was a big advocate of keep Deuce Vaughn. I know y'all said he wasn't a back or whatever, but I said keep him because I was like, we only have 2 explosive backs, and it's Deuce and it's Blue.
Right.
And Blue right now cannot get on the field. Shotty is saying the same thing he's saying about Mazi. It's the consistency, and he's got to earn the right and all this stuff. So, and he's struggling with coming back from injury because Jerry said that. Like, he's been up and down with injury. So it's like with Blue, he's probably not going to be on the field. Would I love for him to get on the field? Yes. Do I want to see him versus the Giants? Absolutely. I feel like this could be a big Blue game. If you're saying attack them on the edges, and that's what you do with Blue, this would be a good game for Blue to get on the field, but I don't know. Blue, remember those reports about Blue?
Exactly.
They said he has problems being a professional. Problems with the playbook. He was the only person in the preseason that Dak was chewing his ass out every single time. So I don't know, y'all. Maybe those rumors were true. See, people it's just these coaches. They hating on him and all of this stuff. But it's like, bruh. Well, if that's the case, then why he not on the field? Because they got rid of his competition. They said, Deuce, bye, we don't like you. See ya.
Right. And the second he's gone, now he can't get on the field. It's just like,
exactly.
You even see what y'all had before you got rid of the backup plan. Like, come on. Like,
exactly. That's what I was telling people. I was like, unless you go trade for a back, you only have 2 explosive backs. Javonte is good, but he is not explosive. I said that. But people didn't want to listen because they said, he's little legs, he's this. It's like, okay, well, you don't have nothing else. Now we have to, and you didn't have to trade nobody for Deuce. He was already on your team. Now you're going to have to go out and trade for someone because you don't have that explosion on your roster. And Blue, I don't know, man. I hope Blue. I hope you can get on the field, dog. I really do, and I hope that you prove us wrong. Because people said you Christian McCaffrey. People said you Jahmyr Gibbs. People said you Tony Dorsett. That's what they said. That was what people some now. I'm like, some of them comps seem outrageous, but hell, they could be right and I could be wrong.
Right.
So I would love for you to actually go out there and show what you got. But if you're inactive 2 weeks in a row, that's not a good sign. That's all I say. Inactive 2 weeks in a row from a young player, from a player that they drafted.
Right. I mean, a lot of capital for a player. Like you said, the rumors coming into the season, and then you're not able to live up to it. Like 2 weeks in, it's just it brings even more pressure to him. And now going forward, like you said, who do you have to really kind of take up the slack? And now we're looking to Phil Maffa. I hope they don't rush him back. I mean, I know he's on IR, so he's already gone for 4 games.
Right. And it made no sense because it's like, why? Maffa does have some explosiveness. We saw that at Clemson.
True.
So it's like, what's up, Dana Jet? Yeah, this is a female channel. That's correct. And shout out to Ty. Shout out to you, Ty. Thank you so much for coming in our chat. And Rocker and the Basement Boys. Really appreciate all of y'all in the chat. Nisi said that Blue is struggling with the playbook. Give him 3 to 5 plays. Nisi, I mean, maybe it could be more than that, Nisi. I don't know. They said he's had problems. In the playbook, I'm just, kind of throwing that out there that maybe that's the issue. But they said the issue is professionalism.
Wow.
So that's his
especially
issue.
For a young player, like especially with this whole culture thing that Shai's trying to put out, and guys working together and being able to elevate in competition every day. And then you have a draft pick coming into this season that you're having to constantly, not tell him what to do, but constantly show him how to present himself. Like you mentioned, Dak chewing them out on the sideline, and they showed it more than once. I'm saying it's just
right. It was more than once. Right, that's not a good look, dog. And you the only rookie. The rookie that was drafted after you didn't have problems with the playbook, but they put him on IR for you.
Right.
They gave him a fake injury for you. They chose you. They said, nope, we want Blue, and now you can't even get on the field.
Right.
But another thing I want to look at just with this Giant secondary. Now they did add Paul Landlord in the chat.
Yeah, he just came through. Shout out to Landlord, man.
Shout out to you, Landlord. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, he must have. We mentioned you earlier. Some of the Eagles fans, for whatever reason, in our chat. But we brought up how you did a show with Simone.
Exactly. So Landlord must have heard us talk about him. He said, "Let us pop up." Landlord is nefarious. That's what they say.
awesome content, man.
Awesome content creator. Him and Henny, ACM Sports, exactly. Yeah. Shout out to them. Y'all go give Landlord Sports with a Z. Go give him a follow for sure. Landlord Sports. But when we look at the other matchups, like with this secondary, so clearly we're gonna have Diggs on Neighbors.
Yeah.
He just needs to follow him because we know Neighbors can listen. Russell Wilson, you scroll up. Russell Wilson had a QBR of 25.5. You can't get any worse than that. You can't get any worse than 25.5 QBR, dog. And even with Russell Wilson playing like that, Malik Neighbors still had 5 receptions for 71 yards.
Right. Still went off. And Wandale had 50 plus yards. We talk about
And Wandale had 6 receptions for 55 yards. Neighbors averaged 14.2 a pop. Wandale averaged 9.2.
Right.
So Wandale and Neighbors, these some dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like Wandale, we gotta really have somebody in that slot because if not, he gonna eat you up.
Right. We talked about that earlier with him being slippery. He's a good grief. We mean that in a loving way, Landlord. We mean nefarious in a loving way.
No, don't lie to him. We know he bad. He is a bad man.
Shut your mouth, sis.
Zion Childress, yeah. But Zion, that's what I'm saying. He gonna have his word cut out for him because Wandale Robinson is he kind of like that for real. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's kind of figured out his role, his space.
I was gonna say, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch the full game either, but even some of the opportunities I seen that he did have, at least for me, I saw it seemed like a lot of short or intermediate passes. So for him to average, I believe it was 9.2, per catch. I was surprised to see that he can be a factor in stretching the field. So I mean, with him, and we know Neighbors has the ability to stretch the field. So these guys can definitely be slippery, especially with our secondary kind of taking the hit. But I think if we, like we mentioned earlier, added just a little bit of speed to kind of help us out, I think that it may add a boost to our secondary. And I mean, MPM kind of switched up the linebackers. I don't know. I'm sure we're going to go with Sanborn and Murray again, but I mean, I think we need some speed in that room too. Hopefully, Maris earned himself some snaps this week because I think that second level is going to be important. I think if these guys are able to kind of slip past, I know Tracy doesn't do huge numbers all the time. Even Scatterbo, he got a lot of gritty yards, but I mean that second level needs to needs to be on their toes as well because just with our D line in general, still kind of growing into themselves. We're looking for help on the edges, so these running backs can still find a way to escape. I think all our guys still need to be on their toes, but I think the second level is going to be, and also the secondary is going to be some of the most important. We need to have the least amount of mistakes in those two position groups.
Yeah, I feel like the focus is more so going to be on the secondary because the running game, I mean, when you look at the backs of the Giants, I mean, they don't have anything special.
Yeah.
You have, who is it? I mean, you got Scatterbo, but Scatterbo had 2 carries for -3 yards.
Right.
Versus Washington. So it's like Scatterbo, he can catch at the backfield, but like I'm not worried about Scatterbo breaking up our game. And then Tyrone Tracy, he had 10 carries for 24 yards, averaging 2.4. Wow. And then they brought back Devin Singletary.
Right.
So I feel like this is a game. What's up, David? I feel like we really David? Not. Glad to see you, Davis, my guy. But I feel like it's not a game where you're gonna have to really be worried too much about the run game. What you're gonna have to be worried about is Malik Neighbors and Wandale Robinson killing you. And I feel like now, if y'all looked at that thumbnail, now that Bland is out, I think they're looking at our secondary. Now, granted, Russell Wilson, 25.5 QB. So I don't think they still with Russell Wilson at QB, but hey, you know how people like to flip the script on the Cowboys. So don't be surprised. I know they said, "Oh, Russell Wilson will be starting." Don't be surprised if we go out there and we see that Jackson Dart playing. Please don't be
surprised if Russell has the same first quarter he had last week. I'm not going to be surprised if we see him in the second quarter or second half. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you guys know, seen Dabo on the sideline. I don't think he's going to be playing around too much to be. I mean, I think his job is going to be on the line sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's not going to want to take a chance. And I don't know. I got to watch the game a little bit more deeply, but I don't know if it was necessarily the O-line that was getting trying. I know the left tackle and the right tackle. I think those going to be some kind of spots that we attack too, as far as the D line. But I don't know if it was necessarily the O-line that was kind of adding to some of Russell Wilson's problems. Or I know some of the throws he was throwing up, some of his receivers were dropping too. I know at least some of the passes he was going to the tight ends. There were at least 2 to 3 drops from the tight ends. So I know some of those could have been completions, possibly first down. So it wasn't necessarily all on Russell, but I want to look at the game to see if it's more so on the O-line or was Russell making mistakes or with some of the drops. Hey, shout out to Ace.
What's up, Henny?
Hey, look, the liquor store must be open. Look, it's about to hit 9:00. Yeah, the ABC store closing down.
It's
the liquor store
definitely open. Henny already drunk. He said it's
right. All right.
What did he say? It's 5:00 somewhere. What they say?
All right. Make sure y'all slap out of an Eagles fan, please.
Exactly.
Please. All 17 weeks this season. Slap the
shit out of him. Except that one, he was kind of nice. The one who said we should team up, do a show with Simone. I like him. I think Hazim. I forget Hadim. I forget his name. But I forgot his name. But we appreciate you, bro. I'm looking at this depth chart because I was like, what the hell? I'm like, where's Deontay Banks? Is he hurt, bro? They done benched Deontay Banks over there. Damn. That's their former first round pick. He's on the bench, and they're playing Cordell. They went and got Paulson Adebo, So their corners are Paulson Adebo, Cordell Flott,
Right.
and Drew Phillips. We should cook.
I'm not
them.
sure how Phillips. Yeah, I'm not sure how Phillips.
We should cook them, to be honest.
And they said Adebo was traveling last week, so I wonder if he's going to.
Oh, well, they trying to make Adebo, but bruh, ain't nobody scared no goddamn Adebo, bruh. What?
I like to see him travel. Go ahead, see if you can take on CD Pickens and Turp. Okay, yeah, come on, Adebo. You had that career season, but let's
come
see how
on,
you take
Adebo.
our
Wasn't
season.
that? Didn't Tober get a huge gain on Adebo? Was that Adebo, or maybe that wasn't Adebo? That might not have been Adebo.
Sure.
Remember when we played the Saints last year?
Yeah,
and Tober went up for that catch on somebody's head. I can't remember who it was, but it may have been Adebo, but. Bruh, I'm not worried. When I look at that secondary, I'm like, I don't even know who these people is. Cordell Flott, Drew Phillips. I feel like, when you go on Madden and you like, I got an injury, so let me see if I can sign somebody for cheap that's like 94 speed. That's how I feel like. That's how I feel about those corners. Like, those are the corners where you like, oh, look, Drew Phillips, he 94 speed. I'll just add him for depth. And he's starting,
Lord.
So I don't know, dog. But
it just don't seem like we're the only team in NFC East looking for corner help. I mean, last week we seen Philly. I know they got DeJean, I know they got Quignon, but they were looking for help. And now the Giants, they hanging on by a string. I mean, Flott isn't the greatest. I think he gets got by speed. I think he can be faked out. You know what I'm saying? I won't say pretty easily, but I mean, like the secondary is questionable.
Yeah, Cordell Flott, let me see. Okay, he's 6'2". Okay, so he was a 2022 third round pick. Okay. Yeah, well, he gonna have to show me because I'm like, all right, you said you got it. He said, don't got that pick on Dak here. Oh, okay. Adebo is pretty good. But I think that pick that he got on Dak was BS. Wasn't that bobble when CD dropped? This was the game where CD also had 4 drops. CD also had 4 drops last year versus the Giants. And so I think that was that game that no, but Paulson wasn't playing for the Giants last year. I forgot. He was playing for the Saints.
Yeah.
Dak threw a pick versus the Saints. He might have, I don't know. But
I don't remember.
But y'all crazy in the comments. I just think. Oh, and what's up to my guy Joe? 100 grand. My guy 100 grand. He said the Giants are barbecue chicken. Joe Watkins said, "What's up, Star? What's up, Joe on X? Appreciate you. Me and Joe always talk on X. I appreciate you popping in. But yeah, man, with these Giants." Oh, he said he had 2 last year versus the Saints. Oh shoot, that might have been Dak.
Oh,
We
wow.
remember that was a bad
Taylor.
game.
Oh, I thought it was Alontae Taylor, so it was Adebo.
No, I think it was Taylor. It probably was Alontae Taylor. I don't think it was Adebo. It could have been though, but I think Taylor sounds more right to me in my head. But it could be wrong. It could be wrong. Yeah, Rico. I was talking about versus the Giants. CD also had like 4 drops, I think, versus the Giants. Because they were saying that what happened Sunday had only happened to him one other time, and it was last year versus the Giants.
Oh, wow.
Where CD was dropping the ball a lot. But anyway, but yeah, I feel like this game, if we go into this game, like, how are we going to win? It feels like we need to attack the edges in the run game, and we need to play action off of it.
Right.
And get big gains versus these corners. That's why if I'm Shoddy and them, I'm not really changing my game plan up from the Eagles game plan because it's pretty much built the same. Now they do have Abdul Carter, who I think their pass rushers are better for sure. Pass rushers are better, but as our offensive coordinator said, Clayton Adams, that when you run the ball and you play action, it's really easy. It's way easier to pass block than when they know a pass is coming. So
facts.
But we already know this is the division game. So we know don't take the Giants lightly. Yes. Has Dak been their dad? Is he their dad? Yes. But you also know don't take it lightly because the Giants are they will. If you slip, they'll catch you. You know what I'm saying? They will catch you slipping. And so we have had let's not act like we haven't had super close games with the Giants.
Facts.
And the only reason why it wasn't like we go into the Giants, sometimes we blow them the hell out, and sometimes it's like, dang, we can barely score on these niggas today. So we know right, that's what I'm saying. So we know the Giants, they're a division rival, they're gonna play us hard. They're probably gonna have packages with Jackson Dart. Like, they're gonna throw. It's week 2. They really want to win this game. They're gonna throw the kitchen sink at us.
Right.
Because not that much film is out. They're gonna try to throw a kitchen sink at us, and they're gonna try to steal one versus us in our home for the season opener or our home opener. But anyway, what'd you say, sis?
Yeah. No, I was going to say just some things just to kind of close out the show. This one thing I think there's some ways I think we can kind of beat the Giants. One thing I want to see the Cowboys use more tempo, or at least use a little bit more faster pace. I feel like last week I know it was the first week of the season. They're trying to get their chemistry together, but I feel like they made a lot of pre-snap mistakes. They had some time management problems. They were kind of getting down to the last few seconds of the play clock. They used some timeouts. Maybe when they didn't want to. So I feel like we can kind of take advantage of that. I know I saw a lot of high tempo in the preseason. I'm hoping they can kind of use some of that, because I like how they get to the line fast. Maybe they want some of these D-lines, some of the D-line off, maybe some of the linebackers off. I think that some of the shiftiness. I mean, we saw the uptick in tempo they used with Turpin last week. I think I think Nicole Hutchinson said I think that was the most tempo that they've ever utilized with him. I think ever in his career. So seeing that, shout out to Brandy coming in.
What's up, Brandy? Shout out to you.
Appreciate you. But yeah, and just also one more thing. I think I mentioned earlier about tackling needing to be sound, about preventing bigger plays, and then I think I mentioned earlier also about our linebackers playing a big. And also just my final thing I want to say is I want to see our tight ends go off. Last week we saw Jake. And now, at least for me today, I seen Schoon also dropped his pass too, which is on the money. Brevin Span 4 had dropped last week.
Schoon did. Dak was trying to give him a big boy ball, and Schoon dropped that. I was like, man, can any of our tight ends bow up? I feel like all of them are soft as tissue paper, bro. Yeah, all of them is soft as tissue paper.
It's crazy how last year we went from we could potentially have the best tight end room to now like. We don't know who we can depend on. And Jake, I'm still not in love with Jake's blocking. I think he still needs more work up front, and I don't like how he gets tossed aside sometimes. So I'm still looking for Jake to work on his blocking, but I like the blocking from Schoonmaker, Span Forward. Shout out to Lou's take. I watched his film breakdown of the O-line and the D-line, fire work. Not just seeing how the tight ends and the O-line, I think it was mentioned earlier in the offseason, but, Shai talked about how he wanted the O-line and the tight end to get better with the communication. And I think we're starting to see a lot of improvement in that manner as far as blocking. But I do want to see more opportunities in the pass catching. I'm glad they're getting opportunities, but I do want to see more success, and just a little bit more improvement as far as our tight end one, because some of those passes should be made. But I do want to see them still utilize the tight ends in the middle of the field, because I think the middle of the field, like I mentioned with the second level, our second level being important, I think we can attack their second level, and I think some of those opportunities can be in the middle of the field with some of those seam passes, or maybe even just even a quick slant from Terp in the middle of the field can be wide open. I think some of these opportunities will be open, to Dak in the offense. So I want to see, similar play calling from Shadi, and just like I said, a little bit more usage from our tight ends. And I feel like with it being a division game, I think we'll see that, because I feel like we use the tight ends more.
I agree with that, sis. I think those are some good notes. I think I would like to see our tight ends get more involved. And I think that, this is a game, like, I really feel like if Blue is active, this is a game that he can go off.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Blue is going off, if the run game is going off, then you're going to be able to get whatever you want in the passing game. Because the linebackers, and they just lost McFadden.
Correct.
So they don't have athletic linebackers. So that what you just spoke about with the tight ends is spot on. Like, you really should be able to attack the middle of the field. But the question is, are the tight ends going to catch the ball? Our tight ends are soft as tissue. I'm sorry. And until they show me different, every single one of y'all is soft as tissue.
Every single one of them.
Y'all can't catch seam passes. You can't catch anything contested. You're supposed to be a tight end, but y'all can't catch nothing contested. It's like the CeeDee and Pickens can catch more contested balls than y'all. Y'all be dropping balls like y'all are Turpin size. Like, I don't know what's with
Correct.
these
And
guys.
Turpin was catching a lot of stuff last week, so
Exactly.
I
Like, I
step
need.
up.
I agree with that, Brandy. You know, CD, you got to be sharp this game. You owe us this game. And CD,
Yeah.
what's sad, dog, is like, bro, you could have had 200 yards. That's what they showed. They were like, if you hadn't dropped out them balls, you would have had 200 yards. You would have already been the league leading receiver, bro. By 100 yards. By 100 yards, man. So, yeah, that's true. Dip Card, I know you just came in, but yeah, no Bland. Bland is out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And also, when you talk about the blocking last thing, you know, it's been report, you know, we looked at the film with George Pickens. Looked like his effort was not the best. On some running plays, as well as a little bit in the passing game. And then Okoye showed how CD also was not blocking the best. And it's like, I put that, when that happens, that's my guy Ken. What's up, Ken? Glad to see you,
appreciate
man.
you, Ken.
You'll see on the rewatch, I gave you a shout out, even though you told me don't do it. I did it anyway. But
shout out to you, Ken. Appreciate you.
Shout out to you. Thank you so much. But yeah, when it's Shoddy, Junior Adams, are y'all not emphasized in blocking?
Right.
Because why is your two number one wide receivers, or your two starting receivers, why are they not blocking on run plays? Now I know they did it sometime, but sometimes it's not good enough. Because they show plays where if CD had blocked it up like he was supposed to, Williams probably gets a touchdown. And we do have an explosive run. So we need CD and Pickens. And Pickens, I heard what you said today. Oh, I'm not even worried about targets. I'm not worried about targets. Okay, because that's not what it looked like versus Pitts, because you was all out of sorts. It was just flowing around, got that dumb penalty late.
Right.
But then when Dak gave you the ball in the fourth quarter, you was screaming and doing all that extra shit. So it's like, okay, bro, like, are you? I listen. We need to feed you. Period. We brought you here to give you the damn ball, but we also we need you to remember, bro. It's week 1.
Right.
It's week 2. So we need to crash out. We need you to. I know you acting like I'm just this great guy in front of the cameras and I don't crash out. But we know who you are, Pickens. So
everything is great. That's like his favorite word. Everything is great.
Great. I'm not worried about targets. Like, okay, but your body, you're saying one thing, but you're doing another. So we do need our number one and number one. Our number ones. I won't even say we do need our number one wide receivers, plural, to step it up.
Yeah.
We need y'all to step it up in all aspects, not just give me the ball, but how about you block? How about you guys be leaders and be the example, because y'all are putting shit out on film that's not good. It's going to become harder to lead these young guys when they're like, I block better than you. Like, so what are you talking to me about?
Right.
So we got to be about the team. You know what I'm saying? Can't all be about me. Even though, yes, you do deserve the ball. And Shoddy needs to get Pickens involved in this game. This should be a good game for Pickens. He should be able to go off.
Yeah.
Because if you got one good corner, they're going to put Paulson and Debo on CD. And they're going to say, Pickens going to be against Cordell Flott and Drew Phillips. So he should be able to go off. He should be able to go off. So we need to make sure we get him the damn ball.
Yeah, and I love the point that Todd made here. They always turn the ball over to us. That's Shoddy, something that Shoddy mentions about winning the turnover battle. I think we had the sack last week, but I don't think we had any turnovers. So that's something that I want to see this game too. See if we can get some turnovers, start getting some of those defensive plays. You know, some of them, we talk about explosives on the offense. See if we can get some of those explosive plays on the defense as well.
Right, I agree with, and that's enough. Thank you. Shout out to who said that? Whose comment was that? With the takeaways.
Oh, Todd Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true. We do. I would like to get some takeaways this game as well.
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to be our identity. So how that's supposed to be our identity, we not getting takeaways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So would like to see, but maybe if we got Maris on the field, maybe we could see some takeaways. You know what I'm saying? I really hope it's more. And shout out to David Woods for coming in. Thank you for your support. She said Pickens was no, he wasn't crashing out, sis. He was what we were observing him is like he wasn't blocking, he wasn't checked into the game. He was doing stuff like he was gonna crash out, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a bad penalty late where he just like did something where he knows
the dude. Yeah.
It was stupid shit. Like you're not supposed to do that. And then there was a point in the game where Dak threw him like a fade ball. They didn't connect on it, and you could see Pickens like he was about to like grab the cornerback's legs and like
flip out in the end zone. Yeah. When he missed it.
But he didn't do it. He didn't do it. But we know Pickens will crash out. We remember what he did to J. Lou last year. Like Pickens is a crash out, especially if he's not getting the ball and we lose it. He is a crash out type. So that's why I'm like, we do have to feed him, but at the same time, Shoddy, Junior Adams, y'all need to check his ass as well. And y'all need to check CD's ass as well.
Facts.
And Shoddy, I know you probably just covering because he's like, oh, absolutely no problem. We saw absolutely, because Clarence Hill, of course, y'all know Clarence, he messy. He was like, were you concerned at all by Pickens' effort? In this game versus Philly, Shoddy, nope, not at all. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. And Calvin Watkins too. Are you concerned about CD? Oh no, CD. We ain't never worried about CD.
Absolutely.
We ain't worried about CD. CD is CeeDee Lamb. It's all good. It's all good. Like, so you got all the hate in the world for
kiss ass, but it's like, okay, Shoddy, I'm gonna trust that you're doing the coach thing, and you feel like I can't undress them in public, but you better be addressing them in private. If you're not gonna do it publicly, that's fine. I guess that's only reserved for Mazi. But when it comes to CD and Pickens, you better be addressing them.
Right.
Because
consistency.
Right, exactly, sis. Call it out.
Right.
You want to talk about consistency, but you want to be consistency here, but not here. Because we all know what we saw on film with CD and Pickens. So the fact that you have no critique at all, oh no, they're amazing. I have no questions. I have no questions about them at all. Okay. But if this shit keeps up, we're going to start to question you. Because it's like, okay, are you a kiss ass? Are you a pushover? And you only want to beat up the low-hanging fruit? Because that type of shit is you're a chump.
Right.
You a bully. You want to bully you know how bullies they don't bully people they own size. They go and pick on the little person.
Mm-hmm.
The one who can't speak out. The one that everybody already thinks is a loser. Like Mazi, it's easy to beat him up. Yeah, because everybody already hates him. But with CD and Pickens, So okay, I better see a change then, Shoddy. If you're not gonna do it publicly, that's fine. But we better see a change. Because we didn't like what we saw from them week 1. Yes, CD had a good first half, but it's not enough to just catch the ball, and it's not enough for we're paying you $30 million a year for you to just have a good first half, or for you to just catch the ball sometimes, or for you to block sometimes. Nah, dog, we need you to block all the time. We need you to catch the ball all the time, and we need that diva attitude to cease. You and Pickens, that diva stuff needs to stop. So that's all I'm gonna say. I think we can end on that. We did a long ass show, but
we rocked out. We rocked out. Yeah, we appreciate everybody coming through. Yes,
he said he didn't do worse than what any other wide receiver. That's why I'm not tripping. I get your point, landlord. I get that 100%. What I'm worried about with Pickens, though, is the crash outs, landlord, because we know he will crash out. That's all I'm saying. So, I think he could have gave better effort in some areas. And I was with you at first, but when I looked more, I said, "Ooh, I don't like this." Because it more so came from, are you pouting? And it's the week 1. I don't like that. I don't like pouting in this week 1. Now, if it's like it's week 5 and 6, and I'm still not getting the ball, okay, I feel like that deserves a crash out. But bro, it's week 1, and you already about to crash out. That's not good. That's all I'm saying. But we're gonna give him benefit of the doubt. We know it's just week 1. So hopefully Shoddy and Junior Adams, they correct that behavior and we'll be fine versus the Giants. That's what I'm hoping. And I hope they have big games. Everybody have. You have a big game. You have a big game. I hope everybody has big games. I'm going to be excited and thrilled. I would love Blue. Come on, Blue. Show us you, Tony Dorsett. If they said that's you, let's see it. I want to see it. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sis, did you have any final words before?
No, just it was one thing. Thank everybody for coming through. Showing you guys support. Another good Wednesday evening. Thanks for rocking out, sis. Appreciate your time today, and make sure you guys hit the like button, the share button, subscribe button, and like sis said at the beginning of the video, make sure you guys comment back on the rewatch. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love interacting with your comments, and appreciate Landlord Sports. Big
Landlord,
time.
HTM,
yes, everybody coming through.
Big time, Keystone, everybody. Thank you so much. Me, just me. We saw you slip in, but thank you to everybody in the chat. Y'all were amazing. Yeah. This was a very active show. And we appreciate that. We love when y'all talk to us. So, but y'all have a good evening or night. We hope to see y'all again, and hopefully y'all liked that post-game show. Maybe it's possible, Sis and I, just depending on the schedules and stuff, but maybe Sis and I can do another post-game right after the show on Sunday. So I'm stay tuned for that. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a surprise. I don't want to
to it. Yeah, we had tried dropping a link too. Shout out to Chris for coming through for the little bit. Glad we were able to have him on. Hopefully we can do that more often.
We were supposed to be dropping a link today, but I've got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I totally forgot too. We definitely gonna do on the next one.
We'll do the next one, and we might even do one if we end up going live because it's an early game. Then maybe we can drop the LinkedIn, and then y'all can just kind of give us y'all's initial after game thoughts. We really appreciate y'all so much for y'all support.
Yes, love you guys. Thanks for your time, sis. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys next time.